wow. This was a wow service. Already, I really can't even put into words how amazing God is, and I say that word a lot. Amazing and awesome are my two favorite words, but when it comes to God, I can't even begin to just articulate how good He is to us, and we just can't take it for granted, all the time. Like, we live in this all the time, and for people who don't know God, it's just really hard, to understand people who don't know God, because, I know at one time we didn't know God ourselves, but now since we do know God, it's kind of at the point where you're like, okay, come on, you need to get it, because you need to get it. You need to realize how we feel, and we're not trying to put on a show for you. We're not trying to, jump off the chandeliers or anything like that, but we love God, and we love God because, not only because the way He makes us feel, it's the way He just is, There's a huge difference. People go to a certain substance because of the way that it makes them feel. We serve God because He is joy, because He is love, because He is peace, and making something is different. He is the I am. He's already the I am. He already came before us, and He is who He says He is. And any other substance that makes you feel like something, when 2 seconds later, or maybe not 2 seconds later, but however long it lasts, it's only temporary. Yep. Only temporary. And we try to seek after anything else, any type of drug or substance, or even friends, any idol that gets in our way of God. Why? I want to know why. Why do we go to that? That's temporary, instead of going to God, that should be number one in our lives, because He is, and far more better than any substance that we could ever hope and dream of getting, that makes us feel, a certain thing. Why would you want to substitute something for the real thing? Why? I want to know why. I really, really want to know why. Is it because it's too hard to get to God? Because in reality, it's not. In reality, it's really not. We just have to. The hard part is surrender. The hard part is standing outside of ourselves in order to get what God wants us, what God wants for us. Now, it's easy to control a substance at first, until it controls you. Until it controls you, because then you're addicted. You are addicted to that certain substance. It's easy to do that. I don't know how that's more easy to do that instead of just serve God that gives you the peace, the joy, the love, the unconditional love, that no matter what the heck you've done, He's still going to be there. What happens okay, I'm going to go on the deep end. What happens if a pharmacy closes down? What happens? What happens if, somehow in the medical field that all the pharmaceutical companies, they just go on a strike? What happens when that happens? What will happen? I think everybody who are so addicted, because they don't have to be addicted to these certain controlled substances, they will freak out. And I want to know that I don't have to have that. I know that I don't have to have those certain drugs, those certain controlled substances. And that's really, I know you're probably thinking, it's really hard for you to say that, Tiff, because you've never been on one. You've never tried this. You've never tried that. You don't know how it makes me feel for being on those type of things. you're true, you're right, okay, I understand that, but at the same time, I don't have to. I don't have to. There's the freedom. There's the freedom. See, you don't get freedom when you're on those certain drugs. You don't get it. You think you do because you're the one, maybe in your head, the devil's trying to tell you that you are the one controlling it, but on the other end of that, the devil's controlling you, saying you need it, which is why you're thinking you need it. And you don't need it. You don't need it. There's so many diseases out there that people just think they have, and they think they need something, and then they'll go and then they'll mess up their lives completely because of what they think they need, instead of them going to God and asking God, what do you want me to have? But what happens? What happens if something that you hold so dear and you think you can control just ends up not being there anymore? I want to know what happens. And that was just in my heart. I wasn't expecting to say that. But what happens, What the heck happens? I want to know that. The only thing we have true and solid in our lives is God. He is the solid rock that we should stand on. He is the solid rock on which we stand. And that is amazing to me. That we don't need anything else. That all we need is God. All we need is that. And it's taken me a while to understand that. It's taking me going through something. It's taking me going and wanting to be addicted to certain things. Like, I know it's on a smaller scale, but not really. Sugar was a big, big thing. I thought I needed sugar. I really did. I thought I needed that so much that it totally took the place of God. Totally. And there was one day where God said, God, sugar's not your God, I am. I want to be your God. I want everything. I bought you with a price. I know you. You don't need that. And everything inside of me said, God, I don't think you know what you're talking about. You have no idea what you're talking about. I know you're God, but for me, you have no idea what you're talking about. You can take care of everybody else, but for me, I know what I need. I know what I need. You don't need it. You don't need to tell me what to do. And it took me a while to fight it. And then I went through another thing. And then I went through